The Nile, the longest river in the world, has played a central role in Egyptian civilization since ancient times. It is the lifeline that transforms arid deserts into fertile oases, and without this mighty river, the history of Egypt would likely have been very different. However, beneath the surface of this iconic river lies a world that is far from friendly. The Nile is not just a source of life, it is also home to some of the most dangerous creatures on the planet. In this blog, we explore 8 deadly inhabitants of the Nile, and explain why locals prefer to stay far away from taking a refreshing dip in this notorious river. Nile crocodile, the apex predator of the Nile. When people think of dangerous animals in the Nile crocodile is often the first that comes to mind. These massive reptiles, which can grow up to 6 meters long and weigh over 900 kilograms, are at the top of the river's food chain. With a bite force comparable to that of a T-Rex, this crocodile can easily crush bones. What makes them even more terrifying is their hunting strategy. They patiently wait at the water's edge until an unsuspecting prey comes to drink, then launch a lightning-fast attack. Nile crocodiles are responsible for hundreds of attacks on humans each year, many of which are fatal. They're not only aggressive but also extremely territorial, making swimming in the Nile, especially in remote areas, a highly risky endeavor. Hippo, the underrated danger. The hippopotamus may look like a slow, lumbering animal at first glance, but don't be fooled by its seemingly benign appearance. Hippos are among the most dangerous animals in Africa, and are known for their aggressive behavior. They can reach speeds of over 30 kilometers per hour both in water and on land, and their massive jaws can even bite a crocodile in half. Hippos are particularly territorial, and often become aggressive when their space is invaded. They not only attack boats but are also responsible for more human deaths in Africa than any other large animal species. Their unpredictable nature and habit of staying submerged until they decide to strike make them a constant threat to anyone daring to enter the Nile. River stingrays, the invisible enemy. Another danger lurking in the murky waters of the Nile is the river stingray. While these fish often appear peaceful, they can be a treacherous enemy. Many species of river stingrays are equipped with a sharp, venomous tail spine that can cause severe pain, swelling, and even death if a human is stung. The greatest risk with river stingrays is their ability to hide in the sand or mud on the riverbed. Unsuspecting swimmers or fishermen who accidentally step on a stingray can be faced with a sudden, painful sting. These animals may not be aggressive, but their defensive reactions make them a dangerous creature in the Nile. The Egyptian cobra serpent danger on the shore. While most people think of crocodiles and hippos when considering dangerous animals in the Nile, we must not overlook the Egyptian cobra. This snake, often found along the banks of the Nile, is one of the deadliest snakes in Africa. With a bite that injects lethal venom, the Egyptian cobra can be fatal to a human within hours. Cobras are usually not aggressive, but when they feel threatened, they do not hesitate to strike. The presence of these snakes along the riverbank is one of the reasons why even exploring the shores of the Nile is considered dangerous. The African fish eagle aerial threat above the Nile. Although fish eagles may not live directly in the river itself, they play a significant role in the Nile's ecosystem. The African fish eagle, with its impressive wingspan and sharp talons, often hunts along the river, preying on fish, small crocodiles, and even young hippos. While these majestic birds do not pose a direct threat to humans, their presence is a reminder of the deadly hierarchy of predators that dominate the Nile. The strength and precision of the African fish eagle make it a formidable hunter, and its presence contributes to the myth-making around the dangerous nature of the Nile. The tigerfish, also known as the African tigerfish, may be small, but it is one of the most feared fish in the Nile. This fish is known for its sharp teeth and aggressive nature. Tigerfish hunt in schools and are notorious for their speed and power. They often attack larger fish, but are also responsible for attacks on humans, especially when they feel threatened or panicked. Although they usually do not kill humans, their bites can be particularly painful and cause severe injuries. This fish is a prime example of how even the smaller inhabitants of the Nile can pose a danger to anyone who dares to enter the river. In addition to the larger, visible dangers, the Nile also harbors a range of microscopic threats. Crustacean parasites, such as the carriers of river blindness, are another risk that people need to be aware of. These parasites transmitted through water can cause severe health problems, including infections that lead to blindness or severe skin conditions. These invisible enemies make swimming in the Nile even more dangerous, especially for those who are not aware of the risks and the potential infections. Although piranhas are not native to the Nile, there have been reports of similar fish finding their way into the river. These carnivorous fish, likely escaped from private aquariums, have adapted to their new environment and pose a new threat to biodiversity and humans alike. They are known for their sharp teeth and the speed with which they can strip flesh from bones. While the populations of these piranha-like fish are currently small, they are a growing problem and contribute to the fear that people have about entering the water in the Nile. The Nile is a river of contrasts. It is a source of life but also a domain of danger. The 8 deadly creatures discussed here illustrate why locals are often fearful of swimming in the river. From the massive Nile crocodile to the invisible crustacean parasites, the Nile is a complex and often deadly environment. While the river is essential to life in Egypt and the surrounding countries, it reminds us that nature can be both beautiful and dangerous. For anyone daring to enter the Nile, it is crucial to be aware of the risks and to respect the forces that govern this iconic river.